Good afternoon. Fade to black breaking news for this Tuesday, February 7th, 2023. All of the news that you need. I'm Jimmy Church. All right, on this day in history, 1984, while in orbit 170 miles above Earth, Bruce McCandless becomes the first human to perform an untethered spacewalk when he exits the Space Shuttle Challenger and maneuvers freely using a jetpack of his own design. On this day in history, OTD. Here's your Fader fact today. In 1913, this is crazy, by the way. In 1913, you could legally mail a baby in the United States. It was cheaper to send children via USPS than a train or a bus. This went on for 7 years before it was stopped in 1920. And that is your Fader fact. Let's get to the breaking news. More than 7,300 people have been killed, tens of thousands more injured in the magnitude 7.8 earthquake that struck Turkey and Syria 2 days ago. Over 6,000 buildings have crumbled. The numbers continue to mount. Officials continue to update the death toll as rescue efforts continue. The quake was one of the strongest to hit the region in more than 100 years. Residents digging through a collapsed building in northwest Syria discovered a crying infant whose mother appears to have given birth to her while buried beneath the rubble. The newborn girl's umbilical cord was still connected to her mother, who died in the building collapse. The baby was the only member of her immediate family to survive. Over 150 aftershocks have been felt across the region over the last 2 days, including one measuring a magnitude 7.5. We will continue to update all of this news in the coming days. Remember Elian Gonzalez, right? The Cuban boy whose custody battle broke Cold War era tensions. Well, he has been nominated to serve in Cuba's National Assembly, the Communist Party news media announced today. Cuban media referred to Gonzalez, who is now 29 years old, as, and I quote, representing the most worthy of the Cuban youth, end quote. His nomination all but secures his post in the 470-seat National Assembly that meets several times a year to discuss proposed laws, which the body usually votes unanimously to approve. Crazy news. The James Webb Space Telescope unexpectedly discovered an asteroid that is around the size of the Colosseum in Rome. It may be the smallest object that the Space Telescope has spotted since it was sent into space at the end of 2021. Though the James Webb Space Telescope normally discovers massive celestial objects billions of light years away, the new finding demonstrates unpredicted usefulness much closer to home. The team found the 660-foot asteroid did it with data collected to calibrate the mid-infrared instrument, otherwise known as MIRI, that was never intended to reveal new asteroids. And that is very, very cool. Well, previous Chinese balloon incursions initially went undetected and had been classified as unexplained phenomena and handed over to that Pentagon task force that is investigating UFOs. General Glenn D. Van Herk, the top military commander overseeing North American airspace, said today that some previous incursions by Chinese spy balloons during the Trump administration were not detected in real time, and the Pentagon learned of them only later. Then John F. Kirby, a National Security Council spokesman, said today that the Chinese spy balloons passed over the United States on at least 3 occasions during the Trump administration. ODNI, of course, issued its first public report on unknown incidents back in 2021. But that document failed to offer explanations for all but just one of the 144 incidents that it looked at. Aerial divisions in Southern California have continued to patrol the skies in the search for Julian Sands, the British actor, as efforts to find him reached the third-week mark. The San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department said such efforts would normally be downgraded to a passive search after 10 days, but that plans have been extended as ongoing bad weather continued to hamper operations. Sands, who is 65 years old, was reported missing on January 13th after he failed to return from a hike in the Mount Baldy region of the San Gabriel Mountains. Numerous searches for the actor have been going on by foot and by air by both local and state level agencies. On Friday, 3 weeks on from his disappearance, the Sheriff's Department said conditions continue to be problematic, but the searches will continue. Scientists have unwrapped long-sought details of embalming practices that ancient Egyptians used to preserve dead bodies, mummies. Clues came from analysis of chemical residue inside vessels from the only known Egyptian embalming workshop and nearby burial chambers. Mummification specialists who worked there concocted specific mixtures to embalm the head, wash the body, treat the liver and stomach, and prepare bandages that swathed the body. Researchers reported all of this February 1st in the journal Nature. The findings came from chemical residue inside 31 vessels found in an Egyptian embalming workshop and 4 vessels discovered in an adjacent pair of burial chambers. All of the artifacts came from Saqqara and Egypt's 26th dynasty around 650 BC. 5 of the vessels had the label of Anshu, thought to have been myrrh. The Anshu at Saqqara, however, consisted of oil or tar from cedar and juniper or cypress trees mixed with animal fats. 3 vessels from the embalming workshop bore the label Safet, which researchers have usually described and understood to be just an unidentified oil. 2 Safet pots contained animal fats mixed with oil or tar from juniper or cypress trees. Okay, not cedar. A 3rd container held animal fats and elemi, a fragrant resin from tropical trees. There you go. More questions getting answered out of Egypt. I'm going to leave you with this, and this is pretty incredible. Woodpeckers. That's right. Woodpeckers stacked over 700 pounds of acorns 20 to 25 feet high in a California home's chimney. Santa Rosa exterminator Nick Castro made the discovery during a December vacation rental inspection for mealworms in Glen Ellen, California. Castro's crew filled 8 garbage bags full of the bird's hoard, and the bags were so heavy that the crew could barely pick them up. He estimated that the woodpeckers were adding to the stockpile of acorns for the last 5 years. There you go. There's all the fade to black breaking news you need for this Tuesday, February 7th, 2023. It is all of the news that you need. Breaking News is produced by Renee Newman. I'm Jimmy Church, and I just have one thing to say. Go back, Lee Tappy.